Hello everyone. Welcome to Milesight IoT Academy. Just give you an overview of this webinar, a quick introduction to cellular technologies, and then check the key features of industrial cellular routers. After that, we'll identify Milesight 4G LTE and 5G based products and show you some applications in which our routers are massively deployed to simplify data transmission in hazardous environments. And then finally, we're going to run an informative question and answer session. Mobile technology keeps evolving to meet increasing demands and specifications. Let's take a look at its evolution and what the future holds. From this picture, we can easily find that the mobile connectivity evolved from 1G to 2G, 3G, and 4G with advancements in wireless voice, SMS messaging, GPRS, high-speed data, and IoT-specific LTE-M and narrowband IoT. With 4G LTE, industrial customers can utilize mobile service applications such as industrial controllers, security cameras, and wireless backhaul. However, as more users come online, 4G becomes congested. This limitation calls for 5G, which can handle 10 times more traffic, offers faster speeds, lower latency, and improves support for IoT devices. 4G and 5G have been designed to coexist, and applications designed for 4G, including NB-IoT and LTE-M, can be expected to have a very long life. Here are some of the possibilities we're seeing. First of all, you have the enhanced mobile broadband with industrial 5G. Secondly, you give high data rates for data-extensive applications in real time. And you also get massive machine-type communications finally. And of course, you have ultra-reliable, low-latency communication. That's key with industrial applications. It has to be ultra-reliable and have low latency. That's a must in industry scenarios. Now let's dig deeper. What's the purpose of an industrial router? Well, an industrial cellular router is a type of networking device used in industrial settings for providing secure and reliable communication over cellular networks. It typically features ruggedized hardware that can withstand harsh environments and has built-in features such as virtual private network support, firewall, and data encryption to ensure the security and integrity of data transmission. Industrial cellular routers are commonly used in applications such as remote monitoring, machine-to-machine communication, and Internet of Things deployments. An industrial cellular router is necessary when there is a need for remote access and monitoring, particularly in unconnected areas. It also provides network failover to ensure uninterrupted connectivity. The dual support for public and private network spectrums makes it ideal for mobile applications. With the growing demand for edge computing, an industrial router can provide reliable and secure communication between edge devices and data centers, enabling real-time data analysis and decision-making. Since it is the choice of industrial router, it will not consider the home-level router, right? So the applicable scope of the industrial router should match all the parameters and indicators of your project's requirements. And different network categories such as LTE, Cat 1 or Cat 4 will be used in the different projects. Cat 1 is ideal for low power, low cost, low data rate requirements, and Cat 4 is used primarily for high data rates. The communication interface in an industrial router usually refers to WLAN port, LAN port, 4G, Wi-Fi antenna, digital input-output, and even a serial port, RS-232 and RS-485. Besides, the brand is a symbol of quality and guarantee. And from the security side, running sensitive data over a cellular network brings unique security challenges since data is transferred through a public network to a secure location. As most industrial routers come with an VPN secure tunnel, as it is safer for data to be transmitted through a dedicated tunnel. There are many VPN transmission protocols, among which OpenVPN and IPsec protocols are the most commonly used and cover the most scenarios, while other transmission protocols are relatively less used. The firewall is a security barrier between LAN and WAN. Through the basic setting of the firewall, you can shield part of the internal network IP address and free setting of IP address and filter communication ports, etc. A watchdog timer is mainly to provide safety protection for projects that need to operate continuously for a long time to avoid a crash. Stability is another core factor when you're evaluating an industrial cellular router. Stable transmission normally equipped with high precision components such as industrial grade 4G high-speed transmission module, CPU processor and memory. CPU processing speed is increased by 2 to 3 times to meet the requirements of stable transmission of large data, such as pictures and videos, and the power consumption is low on the premise of meeting the performance requirements. With the industrial design of circuit protection, the circuit transmission system is stable and reliable. The perfect TCP/IP protocol stack makes the network communication performance excellent, and the dropping line situation can be reduced. Metal material housing, shielding electromagnetic interference, radiation protection, which lightning protection design is especially suitable for the harsh environment of industrial projects. For the industrial DIN rail installation, the shaky industrial router will affect the stability of data transmission, and a fixed transmission device does not have this danger. Milesight series cellular products can satisfy all the aforementioned requirements, all of them definitely. They unlock the power offered G and 5G cellular networks, the boundless reach, non-stop reliability, real-time agility, flexibility. They are all available in Milesight. Let me give you an overview introduction to our 4G and 5G cellular-based product. Milesight industrial routers have been widely used in public applications and industrial applications such as the kiosk, vending machine, and factories. The 4G routers come in a broad range of specifications and robustness, depending on their intended use case or target customers. The Mini, Light series, Pro series are standard routers. They can cover different needs from lightweight to middle-end applications, of course at the most competitive prices. Besides, we also have a special version UR32S for the camera's remote management. The first model I'd like to share with you is the Pro series. It's the best sellers for our whole cellular product portfolio. What features does these two routers have? Well, they have 2 SIM cards, 1 digital input and output interface, single serial port RS232 or RS485, or a combination of serial interfaces, power over Internet as power sourcing devices, Wi-Fi and GPS are optional to get. Moreover, the FXS port, RJ11 interface, is also optional to get in UR35 model, which can be easily connect with a legacy telephone when deploying in the lift application. Many people are calling hardware as a body and software as heart. Well, I can hardly agree with it more. I always tell this to our partners that software is a very important thing in a cellular router. These routers are following the same philosophy and have many different software features like firewall, like multiple VPNs like OpenVPN, IPsec, L2TP, and many more. Also, since routers are industrial ones with serial port combinations, we have included Modbus, TCP, RTU, slave and master to them for you to reach different industrial machinery. So Milesight UR3 series routers are equipped with multiple hardware and software features. That is why you can use them in multiple projects where it needs industrial protocols with multiple industrial interfaces and security and reliability, granted by 2 SIM cards and our managing system. Next is the industrial grade Lite series, router UR32 Lite. Although it's Lite version, it also built on a high-performance industrial grade CPU, 528 MHz, 32 MHz Cortex U7, equipped with 128 MB DDR3 of RAM and 128 MB flash memory, same as the UR32 model. The UR32 Lite inherit the industrial design with rugged metal enclosure from UR32, as well as other more than qualified components. The wide temperature operating feature is also supported in UR32 Lite. It's from -40 to +70 degrees Celsius. Since the Lite version is typically suited for the applications that only need a switching between cellular network and Ethernet port, so there's only one SIM card kept for redundancy, and the input and output interfaces are removed from the design, so you can get enough degree of functionality, but at the most competitive price by the Lite router. I'll be sorry if you missed the mini industrial router UR41. It supports 4G connection and also satisfies multiple type local data access requirements through industrial interfaces such as the digital input, digital output RS232 or RS485. The GPS is also optional to get in the unit. With a compact size and industry-grade design, this unit is more flexible in a variety of installation and deployment scenarios. You can power it up by USB Type-C port or through DC power supply. Moreover, the ultra-low power consumption and advanced power management design make the mini router stand out in the market. In terms of power saving, it has idle mode and standby mode options. Usually, the router remains in standby mode and wakes up when triggered by timers, digital input or serial port, cellular or Ethernet tasks. It's designed to operate on limited power sources, which make it an ideal battery-powered unit through the Milesight UPS-01 uninterruptible power supply and solar-powered applications. Advanced power management means less than 1 watt in idle mode. Here is a table comparing different models of 4G industrial routers based on SIM card number, GPS availability, and the type and number of serial ports. It's important to note that all the models share the same CPU and memory chips. And this is a side-by-side software feature comparison. All of them support the same VPN, security, and management functions. What I'm going to offer next is the smart remote management solution that's prepared for security applications. We know the maintenance of surveillance devices can be a challenge, especially when the cameras are behind routers and hundreds of miles away from the installers and technicians. So most camera manufacturers now, they're using peer-to-peer technology or port mapping to make it possible to set up their cameras remotely. But there are some disadvantages to enable these functions. For example, as an installer, it is difficult and also takes time to communicate with end users how it works, as the traditional methods are too complicated to be done by end users alone. If end users are able to operate, they still need to do it on each camera one by one, which costs a lot of time. Also, it is difficult for installers to search and maintain the devices in big quantity. To solve the main pain points, we suggest to use the Milesight Smart Remote Management solution. It's a practical solution that helps the installer with PC to access Milesight cameras and provide comprehensive remote configuration and maintenance solution to the end users when the technician and the cameras are on different local networks. The special function of this smart remote management solution is the device maintenance in batch. Different from other cloud-based technology in the market, our solution is more user-friendly, as the solution could search all the Milesight devices by one click. For end users, they only need one-click search the devices, then enable the permission, which is really straightforward and easy. Then most importantly, for installers, it reduces on-site visits and solves site issues efficiently with the Milesight professional and well-integrated software. And in this solution, Milesight Pro App, Milesight CMS are ready to use. Just make sure they are upgraded to the latest firmware. And now, let me show you how it works. It consists of two parts, part of easy and straight operations by end users and part of operations by installer. When a problem occurs, end users need to connect the CCTV router with Milesight devices. Just make cameras, NVRs, and the router in the same network, which is easier than port mapping and peer-to-peer setting. And then add CCTV router to the Milesight Pro app via LAN IP of the router. Then all the devices connected to the router will be listed there. Now, the only thing for end users is to pick up and share the devices list to remote technicians with just one click. Then technicians or installers could see all the authorized devices listing on the CMS via serial number and MAC address of the CCTV router. Now the configurations of devices in batch can be done remotely and efficiently. When work's done, maybe technicians call users hi. Everything is okay. If you want, you can disable the permission. Then the secure operating environment comes back. See, it really simplifies the workflow, right? Then you may wonder, what is the key to realize the solution? It's Milesight CCTV Router UR32S, which is the core for speedy remote accessing and bulk configuration. This router can be worked as a normal router with failover through SIM card when Ethernet connection dropped, or we can work it just as a CCTV router. The Wi-Fi and cellular network are enabled by default. Once deployed in the field, a stable and secure connection can be built between the on-site surveillance devices and remote site technicians. Here are two general deployment methods for your reference. If your project already has an existing internet connection, you can directly connect the router to the LAN port of the switch. Ensure that the switch is connected to the WAN port of the CCTV router. In cases where there is no internet connection available in your project, you can connect the CCTV router to the uplink port of the switch and insert a SIM card into the router. This configuration enables the CTV router to provide network services to the project using cellular connectivity. Additionally, if some devices in your project are already connected to the internet while others are not, it is recommended to follow the second method to ensure consistent connectivity across all devices. Well, that's all about the UR32S router for cameras management. If you are mindful of the high-speed data rate, almost zero latency communication, I think only 5G cellular network can better meet your critical missions. As shown on this page, these are all 5G product series for today, starting from the left to the right. UF31 5G dongle for your wired and inbuilt usage, and then is the CPA unit UF51, and next to it is the UR75 industrial router. They have something in common, such as they only support sub-6 GHz, can be worked in both non-standalone and standalone. The UR75 5G router supports ultra-fast data transfer speeds and low latency for seamless connectivity. This router is equipped with multiple gigabit Ethernet ports, allowing for flexible wired connections to devices such as computers, IP cameras, or other networking equipment. It also includes built-in Wi-Fi 6, allows 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz dual-band concurrent connections, rich interfaces, and industrial-grade design. You can put it in any harsh environments. Now let's talk a little bit more about the 5G capable devices, CPE. It do both 5G and 4G connectivity. The CPA, it's actually 2.5 gigabit per second, and that is 4x4 MIMO connectivity. So really high speed. And it does have built-in Wi-Fi as well. So again, very strong, a 2x2 MIMO dual band Wi-Fi with speeds of up to about 1.7 gigabit per second. So really high speed as well. The CPE does have a strong built-in Qualcomm processor as well, which means it's tried and tested world over. This actually has built-in GPS, the antennas and everything already included in this device, so it can be used for mobile applications. In terms of use cases, this get deployed really anywhere where your clients have connectivity requirements. I mean, this can be used in remote surveillance deployments, anything where you need high definition video streaming, mission critical environments where you need high amounts of bandwidth or access control, anything really, really important. This device can be used in an office as well. So as you can see from its design, it looks and feels just like a regular CPA device. So it can be used in a traditional office environment as well, indoors and outdoors, and comes with a whole bunch of mounting options around that as well. In terms of the SIM card connectivity, so it's got a single SIM slot and it's a full-size SIM that you have into it. So awesome device, very nice look and design. I can think of a million different uses for it. Really well balanced and suitable to broad range of applications. And UF31 5G dongle comes with USB Type-C interface for power supply, network supply, and debug. Delivering 5G connection by simply plugging the dongle to the machines, as long as there is power. The compact tiny size makes it as easily to be installed in the limited space, such as the drone and robots. For the comparison table, I'd like to leave it for you to review on your own. Milesight 5G AIoT camera. It retains all the 5G advantages here to transmit image and video streaming efficiently, and even combines the IoT technology, more specifically LoRa technology, so it can be regarded as an independent LoRaWAN gateway to transmit some data package to hundreds of kilometers away in a lower bandwidth and lower power consumption network. All the collected LoRaWAN data is visible and manageable in Milesight, IoT cloud platform, or many third parties platform. These data can be all kinds of information to indicate environment status. UC300 features industrial interfaces. Besides the RS485 and RS232, the digital input and output, analog input and output, analog input including 0 to 10 voltage, 4 to 20 milliampere, PT100 RTD monitoring are all available in this controller unit. As a professional indoor controller, it can be your ideal fit for remote control and data acquisition from diverse conventional devices. Meanwhile, it has a SIM card slot for cellular connection. It works perfect in 4G or 3G if that is what you are looking for. Milesight offers a range of power over Ethernet switches designed to provide efficient power and data transmission for network devices. They come in different port configurations, including 4-port, 8-port, 16-port option, and maximum 24-port, allowing for flexible connectivity options based on specific requirements. How to manage routers remotely and conveniently, no matter where they are in the world while assuring security. That's a question. So we provide the central management service by the Device Hub platform. With the Device Hub platform, you can remote access into the routers through an encrypted tunnel for firmware upgrading, configuring and maintaining devices, also checking their status online or offline, or authorize someone else to manage devices together. Most organizations have everything else in the cloud, so there is no issue, but some government agencies may have policies against doing this. Then you can either download the software package and to install it internally locally, or you can count on Milesight hosted Device Hub without any extra facility cost to meet your large scale deployment, such as push out firmware and configuration in Massey. We need to ensure secure communication without unauthorized access. That is why we offer the free Milesight VPN options. You can install this pure software in cloud server or on-premise server to enjoy the benefits brought by VPN. Since all the routers are open source Linux based, the IPsec OpenVPN, built-in firewall and other security features, as well as the automatic routing ability using OSPF are all available. As we've been in the business now long enough to have accumulated some credibility and some really successful stories. So let's explore more details. As ATM deployment is still keeping in growth in some other countries, such as in Nigeria and in the United States, deploying ATM machines are a challenge because of the high initial costs and remote locations. Now the right solution is here. Because the industrial cellular router uses cellular connectivity, machines can be deployed to areas where landline connections are impractical. Besides the connectivity in remote areas, the connection resilience is also provided. This was done with secondary connections such as Ethernet cable being plugged into the routers as backup connections. And for the setup convenience, Milesight Device Hub provides remote central monitoring for the entire fleet, significantly reduce the need for site visit. The UR32 was the most popular model for connecting to the ATM and cameras, as each router has two SIM cards for 3G and 4G cellular connection and for network redundancy. Besides the commercial projects, we also work with State Grid Corporation of China to include the UR32 into their smart energy distribution network monitoring solution. This is the architecture. The controller collects data and sends through Modbus protocol to RS485 interface of cellular router. Real-time surveillance system and wireless network technology applied to remote monitoring of the controllers, then transfer the data to the center for processing by wireless transmission technology. The serial port, RS485 and PoE LAN port are playing a big role to connect with a controller and a camera in this solution. This solution greatly increases the electricity security and unified monitor the dispersed power facilities and relax end users from the pressure for management. Milesight successfully implemented a 5G and Wi-Fi network convergence solution for a power plant in China, utilizing their customer premises equipment devices. The power plant was using Wi-Fi AP with signal band 2.4 GHz to connect various instrumentation and industrial tablets to collect data and send instructions to workers, while useful for office connectivity in such a challenging environment that out-of-date Wi-Fi network could not keep up with the coverage requirements and was not able to deliver the reliability required to support the critical communications essential to the manufacturing process. Now, instead of using Wi-Fi access points, they use Milesight 5G CPE. They can cover indoor and outdoor areas with the same technology and have no additional hassle. The built-in Wi-Fi has a dual band 2.4 and 5 GHz with speeds of up to about 1.7 gigabits per second, which ensured a seamless connection for maximum 128 endpoints. Now more than 80 units CPE are up and running to connect the digital devices. They played a crucial role in ensuring a reliable and secure network connection within the power plant. Milesight helps its client in China to establish an efficient data transmission and monitoring network by deploying the 5G industrial routers in special vehicles, including but not limited to emergency vehicles, armored vehicles, and airport passenger lift trucks. In this project, a total of 50 units of 5G industrial routers were installed to connect with the high-definition IP cameras so the rapid video data transmission can be realized, seamlessly connecting to the public security system and following up the situation around the vehicle in real time. So if you need a router to work in the harshest environment, to bear the wide temperature, to provide the serial interfaces, to provide non-stop uplink transmission, Milesight routers can be your smart choice. They will not let you down.